Welcome back and happy February. February is the time for flowers. And today we're at Nature's Palate Floral to find out what it takes to send the perfect arrangement to your significant other this Valentine's. Hi there.
Well, hi there. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm Mike.
I'm Andrea. Nice to meet you, Mike.
Hey, I've got a question for you. I'd like to do something different for my wife for Valentine's Day this year.
What do you normally do for her?
Well, normally I do a rose for every year we've been married.
Okay. How many years have you been married?
33.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so now it's kind of looking like a float in the Rose Bowl parade, if you get my
Probably
drift.
costs like a float in the Rose Parade as well.
Think you can help me?
We can certainly help you. We can try to do some different things. Maybe this year she'd like something new and improved. How about that?
That sounds great.
Perfect.
Love some ideas, something
Okay,
different.
well, I'm full of ideas, so we can certainly help you here.
Andrea, how long have you owned Nature's Palate Floral?
I've been in this flower shop for 10 years, and it started as a hobby. The flower shop went up for sale next door to my other small business, and my sister begged me to buy it, so we did. Took a chance and bought it. So her and I worked together developing the business for about 7 of the 10 years, and it just went off from there.
So what is it about the floral industry that got you excited?
Weddings is really my #1 focus. I love creating special, beautiful things for people on their most special day of their life. And so that is really rewarding. I really like doing beautiful flowers, creating the theme, setting it up, and then seeing their faces light up when they come out and their event starts. It's very rewarding that way for me.
It's a very unique name, Nature's Palate Floral. How did you come up with the name?
Actually, I didn't name the store. The original owner, Kelly, named it. And it's a play on words, actually, because palate, the way it's spelled, is like palate of your mouth. And then the slogan was Tasteful Floral Creations. So he created it, and I kept the name just because it was already renowned in the neighborhood. The store had been open almost 5 years when I bought it.
Andrea, for you, what is it like owning your own business?
I love being my own boss. I love keeping my own hours. I love to work hard, but it's really difficult. It's been a long, hard road for 10 years, but I don't think that I would change anything about it, and I don't think that I would go back to working for corporate or or having a boss.
Why Lakewood? Was there something special about this area?
Well, again, the Lakewood area was already pre-selected. The flower shop was already existing. I was in travel first, and so I applied for a travel agency job right here in this retail strip, and I was managing that shop, so Lakewood picked me. I didn't pick Lakewood.
Do you specialize in more than floral arrangements?
We do lots of things. We do floral arrangements, dish gardens, green plants. We do gourmet fruit baskets, food baskets, any kind of theme of basket. We also do silk arrangements, so if people want custom interior decorating, we will do silk arrangements for their home, so things like that.
Andrea, what are some of the things that you think really set you apart from some of the competing floral shops in town?
I would say the #1 thing is customer service. We really specialize in our customer service, attention to the detail of our designs and things like that. Also, we specialize in weddings, and we really go the extra mile for our brides. We really do a lot of extra detail work for them to make them happy. In addition to that, one of the things that really separates us from the rest of the crowd is that we also are a full-service retail travel agency, which specializes in destination weddings and honeymoons. So we're all around wedding packages.
Kind of a one-stop almost.
I would like to say a one-stop shop.
So what's it like after this elaborate planning and weeks of meticulous detail, having a wedding go off without a hitch? What is that like for you?
Well, the whole process is quite entailed in terms of consulting with the bride and processing flowers and creating the beauty, delivering and setting it up. So when it's all done and over with, it's just pure relief and relaxation.
What's your vision for the future? Where would you like to see the store be in 5-10 years?
My vision is just to continue to do more and more weddings, to be more citywide. We do cover quite a large area in the Denver metro area in terms of delivery, but growing and adding to our list of venues that we're preferred vendors for.
So let's say it's a year after the wedding. Can the bride and groom come back to you and plan a cruise?
Absolutely. We are a full-service retail travel agency. I've been in that business for almost, 20 years this year. And so that's really my favorite, my first love is the travel.
What a unique combination, flowers and travel.
It most certainly is. I have managed to combine two of my passions in life, travel and flowers and gardening. It's definitely helped me stay afloat over the past several difficult years. And the best thing is that over the years too, as a businesswoman, I've learned not to put all my eggs in one basket. So by diversifying on both sides, I've been able to, both of my businesses have been able to benefit from that. And I really think that's the reason why we're still open where others have closed, because I have a little bit going on here, there, and everywhere.
Andrea, is it pretty common that guys like me don't really know much about flowers?
It's very common. We get everyday guys calling or coming in, especially when they come in, they kind of have the deer in the headlights look. And so it's up to us to really qualify them. So we like to ask questions. What's the purpose? What are you doing? One of my favorites that we get almost every Saturday morning is, I really messed up yesterday. Can you please help me get out of the doghouse? That's definitely one of our specialties. So we like to do that. But even over the phone, a lot of times people just don't know what they want to do. So it's up to us, again, to qualify and give them what they want.
So I'm pretty typical.
You're totally typical.
Can I learn more about flowers?
As a matter of fact, we can show you how to do a great bouquet here today. What I'm thinking is that we can do something with roses and other mixed flowers that's affordable and beautiful at the same time.
Sounds great.
Okay, so Michael, we are going to teach you how to do a floral design today, and the first thing that we're going to start with is picking out the flowers.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do a design with a half dozen roses and complementary flowers to go with that. So the first thing we're going to do is go in the cooler and pick out our flowers.
All right.
And our greens.
Lori, it's kind of cool in here, but not cold. What's the temperature?
We keep it between 42 and 45 degrees because you don't want it to get too cold, it'll freeze your flowers. And you don't want it to get too warm because then they'll wilt. So I'm going to grab 7 roses. We're going to put 6 in the arrangement, just in case one isn't perfect.
All right.
That we didn't want to use. So I'm going to do the pink, and you're going to do red roses.
All right. It's a nice big table you have here to be able to work.
Yes, it is. And this is the work table. And the reason we do a work table, especially like for anything we're doing, we want to be where we're not bending over and creating bad posture and things like that, because it's really important to be comfortable while you're working, because sometimes I'll be at the table 8 hours a day.
Wow.
So I'm looking at these, and this has a little bit of wilting going on there, so I cut these leaves off like that. And the first thing we're going to do, so I'm going to have you mimic me.
Okay.
And you want to cut at an angle because that gives more space on the stem for the moisture to come up into the plant. Because if you cut it straight off, it isn't quite the same feel.
This one looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, it does, right. But you might want to take these off because what we're going to measure is how tall it is in the plant, so in the vase. So just maybe right about there, cut it off, and then cut these 2 off right there too. And I usually save these because if we're going to be doing like something in foam, then I can use these in foam, and that's a really important thing, is to like not throw your product away because that's expensive.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to put 1 on this side.
Okay.
So I want you to go ahead and do that, and then you're going to do 2 more that way.
Oh, okay.
So this is how you're building your grid, so it will hold your flowers.
Now, Lori, are there times of the year when it's difficult to find certain flowers?
Absolutely, because what the growers do, they grow for the season. So sometimes, like in December, you get poinsettias. And then, of course, the Rose Bowl, it's really hard to get roses because they all go there. And then, of course, then Valentine's Day, you get all kinds of different varieties of roses. And it goes in for each season. So,
What is it like, Lori, preparing for an event like Valentine's Day?
It gets really crazy. I mean, this place gets really crazy because your orders come in, and we always really appreciate when people order ahead of time, because then we can estimate how many roses we need for the event and what people want. And we really try to talk people into getting other flowers, because there's so many other flowers that are beautiful, and people get stuck on this idea that they have to send roses, and they don't necessarily
Kinda
have
like
to
me.
send roses, right? So I mean, that's really typically a man does not know what to order. order. And so you try to say, you know, we have all these other beautiful flowers for our palette in our design, and you know, so let's be adventurous. And usually they come back with a very positive thing. Oh, my wife just loved that. Do that again. And I've had that happen. People go, whatever you did last time. And I go, I don't remember what I did last time because I've done how many in between. But we always like to be diverse here and always create something new and different. We don't just like have a formula design. And that's one of our ideas here, is that we're unique and our designs are unique. This is silver dollar, and this is eucalyptus, and this is seeded eucalyptus. So they all are different palettes of eucalyptus. So, so what we're going to do, because we need a few little talls in here, and we're going to just kind of stick that right there. So I want you to do that with that one, and you just strip it down like that, okay? And then your fingers are going to get real sticky. Has a lot of sap to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so, and then cut it off. Yeah, cut it right about there. That's very good. And stick it in. Right in the middle.
Oops.
Right there. There we go.
Gives you a little bit of height there.
The first thing we want to look at in our vase is to see what our height is going to be. And this rose is going to establish how high we're going to go into the arrangement, and that seems just a little bit high. Oh, I don't know, it looks pretty good. So, because if you get it too high, we can always just cut it off at the end. That's another one of the little things that you can do. So, yeah, go ahead and measure that. There's my set flower there. So I'm going to take this and say, okay, I want my next rose to be like that. So I hold it, and then I cut off a little bit to see if that's going to work, and I'm going to have to cut off a little bit more. And I stick it in at an angle.
Okay.
Oh, this is a guard petal, and what we can do is literally take this off, and because that's what they're doing, they're guarding the flower literally, so we can expose the
inner flower,
the petals that are underneath. Yeah.
Are there any other tricks to sort of extending the life of
Well,
flowers?
using the refresh, you can fresh cut them every day, just a little bit off, change the water.
Wow, it's a simple pattern, but it really is elegant.
I'm going to put this in the center again, so that I have two in the middle.
Short.
So one trick I do like this when I'm at the table is I'll come, because I know that's my rose right there, I come to the table.
Ah, that's a cool trick.
Yep. So this is Ostramaria. This is like going to be a complementary flowers. So I'm going to have you use the red.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to use the yellow. And then I'm going to stick one in here. There. And then I'm going to go to the opposite and stick another one in. This is where, you know, you use the flowers that you have. And we like to have fresh flowers here all the time, so we get what's fresh at the wholesalers. Because that's what we pride ourselves on, is that we have fresh flowers all the time.
Sure.
What you want is, because the rose is your primary flower, you want these to be lower than your roses.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
So you can take them out.
Yep.
And just cut a little bit more off.
So you kind of have a tiered approach almost.
And the thing is you don't want to like overstuff arrangement either, because it's all flowers, but then you can't really see the individual flowers, and that's like part of the technique, because when they bloom out, they also get bigger too, especially these roses.
Is that kind of like being able to see the forest for the trees?
Yes, we want to see the forest through the trees. That's very good. So now you're going to use what we call as a filler flower and a complementary flower, and you're going to use the white wax, which is over there. You're doing very well for your, this is your first arrangement ever.
First arrangement.
Well, now you're going to understand a lot more for Valentine's Day, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it'll give me a better idea, I think, in terms of what to order, too. Now that I know that there's different things out there than just plain roses.
Right, and you know, you can go online. We have a lot of different designs, so that can give you some ideas.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Lori, how did you get started in flowers?
Well, I've been an artist for many, many years. I'm a glass artist, and I've done catering. I've done a lot of different things, gold and silver jewelry. And about 3 years ago, I started delivering flowers. I really liked it. So there is a class at Emily Griffith's Opportunity School. They have a community class at night, and they also have a professional floral. So I took the community class and just said, boy, I really like this. So I got into the floral class.
How has your artistic background helped you?
Yeah, it really helps. Yeah, because, you know, and you use basic artist design like we did, like the triangle is one, you know, where you stick the flowers in. That's a basic design. The 3 and 5 theory is an all design that, because the eye, like on a plate for food, it doesn't like 4 potatoes, it likes 3 or 5 potatoes. So you'll see any chef talking about that because it looks different, and for some reason it's more appealing to our eye. And that's a really important thing when you're doing design, is does it look good? Okay, all right, so now that we finished our designs, I'm just gonna come over and talk a little bit about the balance of, because first of all, we have the different textures again, so we have the different flowers, and this is more a monolithic design because it has more all red, except for the wax, which we put in to like really pop the red. So that's like a technique.
You know,
and
to most guys, it would be just a bunch of flowers, but
right,
now I'm going to look on it quite differently.
Differently, yes, because that's what you want to look for. You know, you don't want to look for if somebody just threw them in a vase and said, here, it's $10, because people do that.
There's a real art to it.
There really is an art to it, and
That's gorgeous.
there we go.
So each creation for you really is unique.
And even like when I'm doing like a funeral, I'm doing something, if I know something about the person I'm doing it for, I keep that person in my hands and in my thinking when I do it. Because I want that to go, oh, it's going to a person that's 90 years old today. I want to go, wow, with that. You're 90 years old.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, you know? So I try to keep that in mind when I'm doing my arrangements. Your first arrangement.
Wow, very good.
Yes.
I'll look at flowers a whole lot different now.
Okay.
You are a great teacher. I got a funny feeling I'm not your first student.
Yes, I have actually done that before. And so what we do here is we have interns come from the school, and we teach them how to do the design. So
you're constantly teaching new florists how to do the craft.
absolutely.
Lori, this is beautiful. For you personally, what's your favorite part about this job?
Favorite part about this job is the creativity, because I'm an artist, and I've been an artist for a long time, and so I am just not a person that could go and sit by a typewriter or do something like that. So the artistic part of it, and the other part is that we have fun, and that's a really important part when you're working, is to have fun and enjoy the people that you're working with.
Boy, am I going to score some serious points this Valentine's. Plus, I learned about another wonderful local business here in Lakewood. Be sure to join us again next month when we learn about a locally owned and operated woodworking company right here on KLTV8's Lakewood Open for Business.